Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a prom full-faced makeup tutorial for you guys. I wore a kind of pink look on my prom, and I also wear a pink dress, so I kind of wanted to do a pink look, but this look will match with lots of different dress colors. I hope you guys have fun and enjoy this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! Hey guys, so jumping right into the tutorial, priming my lids with Soft Ochre Paint Pot and the Fergie Take on the Day eyeshadow primer. I really love these two together because they both have the kind of like oil fighting ingredients in them, so your eyelids won't crease during the night because you'll be dancing the night away, and you want to make sure that it is really well primed. And to take away any discoloration on your lid, the soft ochre works really well for that. See, I have a lot of red veins and things on my eyelids, so this really helps to get it to be totally canceled out. Sorry guys if my voice sounds really weird. I have a cold, which is super weird in April, but I have a cold, so excuse my weird voice. Then taking just a flat shader brush, this one is from Royal & Nickel, and the Makeup Geek shade in Mirage, which is just kind of a cream vanilla matte shade, which I'm using to just set Soft Ochre and the Take on the Day eyeshadow primer, just so we have a really nice base to put all the colors on and so they blend really well. Next, I'm taking a Sigma tapered blending brush in E40, and it's a really nice brush to put on our transition shade, which is going to be Confection from Makeup Geek. It is also another matte shade. And as I'm doing this voiceover, people are deciding to mow the lawn and to be loud upstairs, so sorry for doing that, guys. But this Confection shade is just a very pale pink shade, and it's just going to be used as our transition, and you can barely see it. It's just a really light pink, but you just want to really get that all over the crease, and even bringing it slightly down onto the lid is a really nice way to help it blend, especially if you have hooded eyelids like I do. They just kind of really suck when you're trying to do makeup looks, especially makeup looks like this where they're very precise. Taking the same brush and Petal Pusher by Makeup Geek, which is slightly darker pink color than Confection, and we're going to put that on the same place where we put Confection, and really just blend it in there and build up the color in the crease, and bringing it in slightly down again, just like where we brought Confection, making sure it's going up high enough so you'll be able to peek up over the look, because when you have hooded eyelids, it's really hard to try to make sure that those shadows really show when you are doing a look. Next, we're taking a Sigma Blending E25 brush and the color Vintage from Makeup Geek. All these shadows are going to be Makeup Geek, by the way. This is like my matte palette that I made, that when I ordered all the matte shades, that's what I did. And we're going to put that in the crease, slightly above where that fold is, because otherwise you won't be able to see it again, like I said. And you're really going to just focus that in the crease above where your natural crease is, so that you can make sure that it shows when you have your eyes open, and just really blending it in there into the outer corner and to the inner corner. Taking the Sigma E40 again to really blend out all those edges, making sure they're very, very well blended. I'm just going to blend until my arm falls off pretty much, so everything looks really seamlessly blended. And I was having a little trouble getting it all blended, especially when it came to below, like where my hood is, which is always the case for me. It's really hard to blend, but just keep on blending until you are happy with the blended effect. This is what it should look like so far. Kind of looks like you're being punched in the face, right? But it'll look really pretty when it's all put together. But just making sure it's really, really blended and kind of matches the other side. I just always like to go back and see if everything looks good together. Taking confection again and really going to focus on blending that crease and all those shades that we put in there. Just really making sure that it looks really nice and blended, because we don't want it to look harsh, especially on prom when you just really want to look put together and beautiful. And that's just what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta go to your other lid and make sure that that's all blended too. Next, taking a Morphe M507, which is a very small tapered brush, and Motown from Makeup Geek, which is a very beautiful purpley shade, kind of a deeper shade. And we're going to really focus that in our crease, kind of below where we put vintage and kind of a little bit into vintage, just kind of really focusing it. And we're not really making a cut crease necessarily, but really just focusing it in that area above the fold so you can see it. This is how it should look so far, just kind of a little bit more purpley in that crease area. Taking an E40 again and blending everything that we just did to make sure everything is blended really well and everything mends together. Mends together? Marries together? I think I've heard it other ways, but just make sure it's really blended. Now comes the fun part, carving out the lid. And I'm just taking this art store brush I got just in the art store, and it's a really synthetic angled brush, and I'm just going to dip that into the concealer, and I'm really going to map out where I want that lid color so everything pops and looks so nice and put together. And so it's kind of a struggle getting it on my lid nice and evenly, but you just really have to work on it and just really carve out that lid space and just make sure everything looks even, and when you open your eyes that you can see it, and then it just doesn't look like it's just randomly placed there. So you just kind of have to keep blending it down and upwards and really just making that shape that you want. I think this is like the best trick that you can ever learn when you are doing makeup, because it really makes any eye look so flawless, like you spent hours doing it. So just keep working on it. It might take a little while, but you should give yourself enough time if you are going to prom to do an eye makeup look. That's another thing I can tell you. It takes a long time to get ready for prom. Still working on carving out that lid area. My camera turned off and then I had to restart it again. So just keep working it on there. It takes some time. Alright, next we're going to take Whimsical, which is a foiled eyeshadow from Makeup Geek. It's so gorgeous. Pale pink, and it's a really nice base for the glitter that we're going to put on. So just like you did the concealer, you're just going to really focus it on that same area that you put the concealer. And I like to just start up in this kind of where we started carving it out, so that you make sure that it matches perfectly with the concealer that you put on there, and then just kind of spread it around the rest of the lid. You can take your finger too and keep building up that color, but I didn't need too much of a color because the glitter that I'm going to use is very pigmented also, and so you just keep working it. Make sure you get on that lash line, because that's really hard, especially for us hooded eyelid girls. You forget that lash line, and then when you open your eyes, you can't see a thing of all the hard work that you did. So this is how it's going to look. Just really make sure that it looks really nice and clean and even, and a good base for that glitter that we're going to put on. Next, to prep for the glitter, we need a glitter primer. This is the NYX glitter primer, and I love it. I have done a review on it before, and I am taking it on a synthetic flat brush. This is just a brush that I got with the Urban Decay Naked palette. You can use any flat synthetic brush, it works just fine. And I'm just going to put some glue on my brush and just apply it on top of where we put Whimsical. You just have to kind of pat it around and smooth it out, make sure it's even, because where you put the glue is where you're going to have the glitter go. Now we're taking the glitter, which is the Halo Sparkler from Makeup Geek. It's beautiful, pink, just amazingness. But then you just kind of put it right on top of that where we put the glue, the glitter primer, I should say, and just really pat it around, make sure it looks really nice and saturated with that glitter. And you just kind of keep building it up, making it nice and glittery until you are happy with how glittery it is. But you just kind of keep working on it until you are happy with it, and just really put on that glitter so you can be all sparkly for prom, right? That's very important. So I got some fallout on my cheeks, but that's okay. We're going to take a makeup wipe afterwards and clean it all up, but just kind of look at it and see if you like how much glitter you put on there or not. Sorry if you're seeing my hair a lot. I guess I'm having to bend over and do a lot of things to try to get this look put together. This is how it should be looking. Nice and glittery. Ooh. Taking the Morphe M507 brush again and Motown, we're going to really try to get that outer corner nice and deep and just really build up that outer corner so it looks really, really nice. When you have everything all put together, just kind of fixing, you know, if any glitter got up a little bit too high, you can always just take another brush and the color used in your crease and just kind of wipe it a little bit, and it kind of helps. It's kind of hard not to have any transfer when you have hooded eyelids, but next, I'm just curling my eyelashes to prep for falsies with the Shiseido eyelash curler. You know, the struggle is real when you're trying to curl your eyelashes. But luckily, falsies cover all that, which is really nice. Then I'm going to just cover it with a coat of mascara in my L'Oreal Voluminous False Fiber Lashes, just to have kind of a base for when I'm going to put on my false eyelashes. Just make sure you coat them with a good amount, just so they're nice and black and can blend in with the falsies. Next, I am taking my L'Oreal Lacquer Liner in Blackest Black and making a wing, and I'm taking my brush that I have talked about in my favorite brush for winged eyeliner, and it's from the art store as well, and it makes it just really easy to get a nice wing, and just really making it really nice and dark, so when you put those falsies on that you won't see any skin peeking out. It's just really making it nice and black, and it's pretty boring to watch eyeliner application, but this is how I do mine. That's how my eyeliner ends up looking. Beautiful, right? Alright, so I'm going to put on the Vegas Nay lashes in, I think it's called Shining Star, and I really love them. This is my first time ever applying eyelashes on camera, so don't be mad at me if I can't do it very well. Alright, moment of truth. I'm going to put them on, and the struggle is real, let me tell you. I had to get all the other glue and gunk off of it. I don't even think I got everything off, but bam, applied it. Going to take a tweezers and really try to get it to mesh well with my natural lashes. I am not the best at putting on false eyelashes yet. It has been a struggle, but doing it on camera has really made me proud of myself because it is a struggle even off camera. So just really making sure that they work really well. Ignore the red glitter flecks. That was from one of my tutorials when I did that red glitter look. And yeah, I don't really know how to clean eyelashes yet, but that is how they should look. Not perfect, but I tried. Now putting on this lovely headband to just kind of keep my hair out of the way when I'm doing my face makeup. Yeah, kind of important. Going to prime with a Nivea Post Shave Balm, which I really loved using this lately. It really helps my makeup to go on really nice and stay on really well. And if you're wondering, I have oily skin and it still works for my skin, and my skin does not really get oily throughout the day very much, but just really making it go all over my face, and I have a very red undertone. Next, I am taking the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation in Classic Ivory, and this doesn't have an SPF, so that's why it shows it for this tutorial, because I guess if you use SPF when you're taking photos, there's a flashback or something like that. I don't really know much about it, but I'm taking some on the back of my hand and dotting it all over my face generously, because I like to have a full coverage, because I have a lot of that weird redness and some, pimples around here and there, but yeah, my skin's not too bad. It could be worse, but I'm just dotting it all around and making sure everything is all over my face. Next, taking my Morphe M439 buffing brush, which is my favorite brush for applying foundation. I think it just applies the foundation so well and blends it in really nicely. And I'm just taking it and just pushing it in more than anything and pushing it down. If I have a little circular motion, so that's just make sure everything gets everywhere, but just really pushing the foundation in and down my face. Apparently I found a fuzzy on my face or something. I was like, what is that? But I'm just blending it in and just making sure it gets all over my nose. My nose is like a really red area, especially when I have a cold, so I really needed to cover that up. Getting on the forehead and just everywhere, making sure you have a nice full coverage for all the other face products that we're going to put on, and blending it down the neck a little bit and under the eyes, making sure you get everywhere. Next, I realized I need something for my under eyes, so I got the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Natural, and I put that all underneath my eyes and kind of in a triangle, just kind of bringing it down a little bit onto my cheeks. It was kind of a struggle to get enough amount out. Then I also put it on the sides of my nose and underneath my nose and kind of between, where you have your Cupid's bow. I don't know what you call that. And then a little bit on my forehead and down the bridge of my nose, and so that's places I highlight. And then on the next, underneath the other eye, and yeah, that's pretty much what you do. Just make sure you get a good amount so that you are nice and highlighted. And then I'm going to take my same brush I used for my foundation and just really push it in. That is the really important part, is to just push it in, because you really want it to just sink into the skin and into the under eyes, so that you have nice coverage, and just really push it in there, going down my nose and on the areas where I highlighted everywhere. I have these like weird wrinkles on my forehead. That's just how it is, but so I just like to put all my concealer everywhere, apparently. So I am well covered. It's very important. Next, I am taking my Studio Fix powder from MAC, one of my only expensive things I own, and I'm going to bake with it underneath my, what do you want to call it? Underneath my cheekbone. Where you would put that contour, below where you put that contour. Wow, this is a struggle. But I'm taking the same sponge that it comes with to bake a little bit. That's where I like to bake because I have a lot of redness on that area and I really like to cover it up. So I'm baking under my eyes to really set that under eye concealer, and we're looking, like we're baking. Yeah, pretty interesting. Next, I am taking the Wet n Wild contouring palette. This is actually the first time I'm using this. I don't really know why I wanted to use it for the first time for this tutorial, but I did, and I had struggle opening it. I'm like, why won't it open? Yeah, seriously. So this contouring palette is in, what's it in? In Dolce de Leche, if I'm saying that right. And I'm taking the contour shade and putting it where I put my contour. It is very, very pigmented. Woohoo! Yes, but I was really liking it. It's really, really nice shade. And it may look a little like orangey on camera, but in person it looks really nice. And I was like, yeah, it works, it works. Putting it on my other cheek and just really concentrating it. We'll blend it a little bit more in. It looks really crazy and harsh because I have all the baking underneath. But we're just really we're going to blend it in a little bit more, but we're going to add some more product on top of my forehead because I have a very big forehead. Yeah, that's just how I was blessed with. My dad has a big forehead and that's what happens. So I just made sure that the contour was up there, and I'm going to try to attempt to contour my nose. I don't know if you can tell any difference. It's totally a new thing for me, contouring noses, but I try. And underneath my lip, and just really making it nice and pouty. Then kind of on my jawline. I don't know. That's just kind of what I do. And I guess I was jamming for a minute. Next, I'm taking a powder brush from Royal Langnickel to wipe away that bakage that we did and kind of just blend the contour a little bit more. It kind of looks harsher on camera. I don't really know, but it turned out really beautifully. So I'm just really wiping away that powder and jamming more, apparently. I'm loving this bow. I mean, it's cute. Then I'm taking the highlight side and highlighting where I put the cream highlight or the liquid highlight, whatever you want to call it. I'm so professional at this, right? Then taking it underneath where I did a little baking, so that's a little highlighted. This shade is a really nice highlight shade. It's I had bought the other one that's like yellow, but I didn't know if I wanted to do that or not, but so I just set everything I did. I set all of my highlight that I did. Then I'm taking the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer, and just like in my how to make your highlight pop video, I'm taking it on my finger and dabbing it on the high points of my cheekbones to prep for that powder highlight that I'm going to do. So I'm just really rubbing it in, focusing it on the areas where I really want to be glowy, and that's pretty much what I'm going to do. And, it's pretty self-explanatory, so I think we'll skip through it. I was apparently digging that glow that light infusing primer gave me. And then taking the Becca highlight in Champagne Pop in my Morphe G23 fan brush and going to apply it just like I did in my how to make your highlight pop video. So if you want to see more of that, you can definitely go check that out because I'm just going to add more and more highlight until I'm glowing like a disco ball. Make sure you add it to the tip of your nose, the bridge of your nose, and Cupid's bow, and make sure everything is looking very, very glowy. Then, because I'm extra, I am taking the Becca Moonstone highlight, which is a very pale champagne pale gold shade. I can never describe that shade. Apparently I'm jamming out while I'm doing this. So I'm just adding that on top of where I put champagne pop so that it really pops. And I'm adding it to the top of my Cupid's bow to really make it emphasize my lips a little bit better. Now you're really zoomed in on my face. Taking confection and pedal pusher, and on the M507 brush, we're going to do the lower lash line. And we're just going to kind of blend that nicely under the lower lash line, making sure there's kind of just a nice little color there. Then I'm taking a flat eyeliner brush and vintage, and there I'm showing the brush. Then I'm going to put that tightly on the lower lash line, underneath the lower lash line. It's not in the waterline, but underneath that area, and just wiggling it in there. Not all the way to the inner corner, but definitely focusing on the outer corner. Then taking Motown also and putting it right into vintage. Just kind of add that little dramatic lower lash line action right there. I'm going to get to the other side too, because I don't know if I did that when I was doing the other one. And then blending it out with the M507 again, making sure that everything is nice and blended together. Next, I'm taking the Rimmel Scandalize pencil in nude and lining my lower waterline. It's a nice nude pencil. You can probably do any other color that you wanted to, but I just wanted it to really show the lower lash line look we did. And now using my most favorite blush, Luminoso by Milani, that works on every single skin tone, skin type, whatever. And it looks beautiful. And I'm putting it on with a blush brush and putting it in between where I put the contour and the highlights. So it just kind of looks really nice and blended together and just gives you that really beautiful peachy glowy look. I absolutely love this blush, and I have raved about it so much, and so many other YouTubers love it also, and it is so cheap. It's like $5 or $6 at the drugstore, so go pick it up. And then I'm blending underneath that. Now it is time for brows. Yay! You can tell I love it. Next, I'm just combing down my eyebrows like I've done in my eyebrow tutorial to find where my arch is. Then I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in taupe and a flat eyebrow or angled eyebrow brush. Well, I can't talk. And I'm just kind of doing my brows how I usually do, kind of making the arch and then combing it back after I'm done singing. And then combing it back to really start filling them in a little bit more. Then working on the tail and just kind of bringing it back and forward to fill those brows. It's kind of a struggle to do brows for me, to be honest. But then I clean it up with some concealer and we're all good. So I think you only really need to see me do one brow, right? I think so. Then I'm taking the NYX Full Coverage Concealer in an angled art store brush that I used before and just kind of map out the shape I want for my brows. You guys have seen this before. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just kind of have to draw the concealer where you want to shape your brows. So just kind of bringing it down, and it really helps to make the eye look super polished as well, because if you have any harsh lines when you bring down the concealer, it definitely helps to fix it in that way. And voila, you blend it in and you have beautiful shaped eyebrows. And then you just comb it through with the same spoolie that you used when you were going to fill in your eyebrows to really just blend everything in and make it go all the way you want to. And there are the brows all done. Ooh. Next, I'm doing the lips. I'm taking Nude Lust in the Maybelline Sensationals The Buffs collection and the Skimpy lip liner from ColourPop. And I'm going to line my lips and slightly overdraw them because I do not have the greatest lips, as I have said in past videos, but I'm just going to really focus on making a nice shape for my top lips and just really drawing them very carefully and very nicely. Then I am filling them in on the bottom and the top to have a really nice base for when we're going to put lipstick on. And you really want to do this step if you want your lipstick to last a little bit longer. My camera died as I was applying my lipstick, so that's why there's a little bit more on there. So I am just putting it all over my lips, making sure I have a very nice layer of lipstick. And this is how it should look. Very, very nice. Because I like kind of a glossy look, also I am taking the Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee from NYX, and it's a very nice, just nude. It's got a little pink in it, a little bit peach in my opinion, but it works really well with this lipstick. And you just kind of put it on the middle of the bottom and the top. And that is the finished look. Super beautiful for prom or special occasions. It's just a very nice pink, glittery look. Really girly and fabulous in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys! Then you dot it on your cheekbone, the high point of your face, and kind of rub it in with your finger. As you can see, it already gives that beautiful luminosity that you want when you're trying to do a highlight. But that just really preps it to make it really pop